In this video, I'm going to provide an overview of how I use Blender to create my storyboards. This can be a useful tool if you're not the most confident in your drawing skills, and if you want to speed up the process with your 3D modeling skills instead. Okay, so here's my set. It's an interrogation room. I'm going to outfit it with some chairs, some tables. I'm keeping the shapes really basic. It's mostly just boxes with beveled edges. And I'm dropping in some characters. They don't have to be the final characters. I just need characters I can move around and I can pose them. Now I'm going to change the viewport shading to flat. You can find that in the top right corner of your screen. I'm going to turn on outlines. Next, I'm going to turn on cavity, and you can customize this. Like, you can customize how the ridges and the valleys are shaded. I'm going for a kind of pencil drawn feel, so I'm probably going to turn down ridges all the way and leave some of the valleys. And you could turn on shadows here if you want, but I'm going to show you how you can add in shadows in a different pass pretty soon. Alright, now you've got something that looks like pencil drawing, or at least a close approximation of it. Okay, and now we're going to make sure we're in the Eevee render engine, which is Blender's real-time renderer. Anyways, I'm going to go into that rendered view, and I'm going to add some lights, just some dramatic overhead lights. And once I have something I like, I can go under viewport shading again, and under passes, instead of using the combined pass, I switch to shadow. And now I have this dramatic lighting where it's just the lights and the darks. Okay, I'm going to drop in a camera. I'm going to position it and angle it the way I want. And instead of doing a conventional render, I'm actually going to go under the View tab, and I'm going to choose a viewport render. And now I have the line render, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to render out the shadow render as well. Now I've got Photoshop open here, and I'm going to import the line and the shadow passes. You can apply whatever filters and color adjustments you want. In this case, I'm just going to go for a simple posterize so I can get just clean lines. And I'm going to put the shadow pass on top of that. Again, you can use whatever blending mode you want. I end up using multiply, and I turn the opacity down a touch. And from this base, you can add on pretty much whatever you think the scene needs. In my case, I realized that I needed the beam from the overhead lights. So all I had to do was use a gradient and use a perspective tool to get that in place. I also decided I wanted some steam emanating from the coffee cup just to indicate that it's warm. An idea I had was that, maybe as the panels go by, the steam gets smaller and smaller to indicate that, time is passing, this liquid is cooling off. Just little touches like that. Here are some of the pages I've made so far using the storyboarding technique. I really like how it looks. This is a sort of clean and well-lit aesthetic that I was going for. And what's really cool is I can play these panels back in a sequence, and I pretty much have an animatic, or like a first pass of an animatic, done just by playing these back. So I hope this approach excites you and gets you looking forward to making your own storyboards, and I hope it makes the process a little easier. Good luck!